Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a review of the Netflix film The Kissing Booth. So, The Kissing Booth 2 is coming out this Friday, and kind of out of curiosity I decided to check out the first one. And I was expecting a pretty standard teen romance movie. It's not good. I mean, just so you know, I give movies the biggest benefit of the doubt. I don't like to trash movies. I am very positive. And, I'm not above just having fun with a silly movie. And, parts of this movie, I don't know how to explain this because I don't just go for the easy targets to trash on movies. But this movie was different than just a standard teen romance movie. This is very odd. And parts of it feel very creepy and almost unsettling and a bit upsetting. And just so you know, this video will contain mild spoilers, but you shouldn't care. But I feel like I have to say that. In the beginning of the movie, the main character, played by Joey King, is at school with... Anyway, and this guy comes and touches her butt without her consent and sexually assaults her. She gets in trouble for the skirt she's wearing, and he gets in trouble for doing that, but then she agrees to go on a date with him later in the same day. It's odd. It's odd and kind of, I mean, not kind of, it's a bit, it's creepy. And then, the main guy who she has a crush on, named Noah Flynn, played by Jacob Elordi, is honestly, he's extremely controlling. The deal with her is she's best friends with this guy named Lee, and sort of like a family friends situation. And Noah is Lee's older brother. I have the names in front of me because I don't remember their names. So she has a crush on Noah, and Noah, well, basically Lee has this rule where they're not allowed to date each other's siblings. But Lee has a super hot older brother, and Elle, the girl Joey King plays, has like a 5-year-old little brother. And so it's pretty clear that rule only applies when it comes to Noah. This is where I was expecting a pretty standard teen romance movie. I predicted from the beginning that she was going to pursue Noah, realize he wasn't right for her, and realize that Lee was right there all along, and that she really had feelings for Lee. That's sort of the standard formula for a movie like this, right? But no, she ends up with Noah. Noah has some bad anger issues. He's always beating guys up for little things, and Elle thinks she's gonna change him and make him better, and it's another layer to the problematic issues of this relationship. And he's very aggressive towards her at points, and he's got anger issues, but it's this whole thing about, like, she's gonna change him, and they're not red flags to her that he's always getting in fights, and it's just sort of something she gets over, and it's odd. It's odd. But then he leaves for college, and thus a sequel. And I haven't watched the trailer for the sequel, but I've seen some stills from it. There's another guy involved, and I don't know. The whole thing makes me kind of uncomfortable because the conflict of the movie is these two brothers who are really trying to exercise control over Elle, this main character, and Lee comes around and decides that she can date his brother. And she spends some time earlier in the movie calling out Noah for trying to control who she goes out with, and like he goes around the school telling guys not to ask her out because he's protecting her. It's just that kind of thing, to me, was set up that she was going to realize he's not a good guy, and that that she shouldn't go out with him, but she never. That's just not part of the movie. You know, he's a bad guy who you're not rooting for, and she never really comes around to that realization. It's just weird, and certain scenes in this movie were like genuinely uncomfortable. But I don't know. I do sometimes have fun with these, you know, laughing at these sort of teen movies and being like, oh, don't end up with him, end up with him. And, you know, I just couldn't do that with this movie. There's one point, too, where, you know, the concept is they're doing a kissing booth and they're blindfolded. And there's this girl who walks up to kiss Lee, and he takes off his blindfold. And it's like this big moment. And it's as if we should have seen the girl before. Like if it was a girl he had a crush on, or just anyone we had seen before. But she's a new character. And they treat it like a reveal. But I don't know. A lot of this movie's really frustrating. And I'm concerned for, let me pull up the sequel, because it's over 2 hours long. The Kissing Booth 2. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes. In terms of silver lining, Joey King is a really, really talented actor. I've seen her in The Act. I haven't seen her in I guess I would have seen her in The Conjuring. Yeah, no, this movie is problematic and creepy and a bit off-putting and cringy. And I don't know. But I just want you to know that I don't like to just come on here and trash movies that weren't made for me. You know what I mean? Because even though I know this movie wasn't made for a 20-year-old guy, it's not good. You know what I mean? It's not like something I mean, I'm sure younger people enjoyed this movie. It has a 6 out of 10 on IMDb, which isn't awful. So, I don't know. I'm sure people enjoy it. I really hope young people don't take the wrong lessons from it. That's kind of all I got. Joey King is good in it because she's a talented person, even though she really does not have a good character to work with. Joel Courtney, I thought, was a fine actor. Jacob Elordi, who plays Noah, maybe it's the character, but he didn't strike me as a very... He wasn't great in the movie. I'm sure he's good in other stuff, you know? I'm sure he's good in other stuff, but man... that's kind of all I got. I don't even know what to say. It's just not good. It's odd. It's an odd movie. There's so many odd scenes of and they have sex in front of the Hollywood sign, like right on the Hollywood sign, which that area is fenced off, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't be there. And they wake up the next morning and they sleep in front of the Hollywood sign the next morning. I'm like, there's going to be hikers. There's going to be... Look, I don't like to nitpick stuff like that. Maybe it's coming off as nitpicking, but I hope you understand there's a fundamental flaw with this concept. I hated that she ended up with Noah. I think that was bad move narratively. I think that was a terrible move thematically. It doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me that she would realize he's a controlling and a bad guy, and maybe end up with Lee or establish another character. And then it ends, and she's like, now I feel like he can do anything because I was with Noah. That's what I'm talking about thematically. It's damaging thematically if a young person takes the wrong message from this movie. So anyway, that's what I got. I don't want to trash on a movie that wasn't made for me, but it's too flawed to just let it slide. But hey, the sequel comes out tomorrow, and hey, maybe I might even have a review for that movie on the channel. Who knows? Alright, that's what I got for you. Thanks for tuning into this video. I'll see you in the next one, which might be a review for The Kissing Booth too. Hang in there. Goodbye.